The soft hum of the office air conditioner feels strangely at odds with the storm raging in my head. Life sure has a way of catching you off guard, doesn't it? I'm sitting at my desk at Thompson and Mitchell Law Office, where I've made partner at 30, the youngest in the firm's history. The polished oak desk, the view of Manhattan's skyline, the Harvard law degree on my wall, they all tell a story of success. But they don't tell my story. Not the real one. The phone's ring pierces the quiet, and my heart skips a beat. Unknown number, yet somehow, familiar. Too familiar. My hand trembles as I answer with my practiced professional voice, Melinda Smith speaking. Melinda, it's me, your father. 10 years. 10 years of silence, and now here he is, his voice carrying all the weight of our shared past. Once, that voice meant bedtime stories and Saturday morning pancakes. Now, it's just another scar I've learned to live with. Why are you calling? The words come out sharper than intended, slicing through his awkward pause. I need your help, Melinda. Financially. His voice quivers, but it only fuels the anger I've kept bottled up for so long. Now. After all these years, now you need my help? The bitterness in my voice surprises even me. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious. Please. You lost the right to ask anything of me when you chose her over me. The memories flood back. The warmth of my childhood home, Mom's laughter filling every corner, Dad's playful storytelling. But then, Mom's death changed everything. The house that once held so much joy became a tomb of memories. Every room echoed with her absence. For Dad and me both, the loss was unbearable. But while I was still learning to breathe through the pain, Dad found his solution, Anita. I remember that evening like it was yesterday. Melinda, this is Anita. She'll be living with us now. His voice had changed. That warmth I'd grown up with, gone. Just gone. I still remember studying her face, desperately searching for any trace of kindness, any hint that maybe, just maybe, she could help fill the aching void Mom left behind. But what I saw sent chills down my spine. Her smile never reached those calculating eyes. That house, our home, it changed overnight. Even the walls seemed to shrink away from her presence. Gone were the echoes of laughter and love that Mom left behind. Instead, every corner held a new kind of tension, thick enough to choke on. The little things started first. Breakfast one morning. The food so salty it was inedible. Oh, was it too much salt? Anita's voice dripped with mock concern. Just eat it, Melinda. Don't be so difficult. That smirk she wore. I'll never forget it. Then my clothes started coming out of the wash ruined. My favorite dress. The last birthday gift Mom gave me, completely faded. When I confronted her, she just shrugged. Maybe it's time you stopped dressing like a child anyway. I ran to Dad, hoping, praying he'd see through her act. Dad, Anita's ruining my things. She's being cruel to me. My voice shook with tears I refused to let fall. But his response cut deeper than anything Anita had done. Stop imagining things, Melinda. Anita's trying to be part of this family. You're the one causing problems. Every day became a battle. Navigating between Anita's hostility and Dad's indifference, our once happy home had become a prison. I spent more and more time in my room, trying to escape the suffocating tension that filled every corner of the house. You know what's truly terrifying? When the place that should be your sanctuary becomes the source of your fear. When the person who should protect you becomes the one who refuses to see your pain. Every day, I found myself longing for the past. When Mom's smile could light up every room. Now those same rooms held only shadows and fear. Living with Anita became a deadly dance of avoidance and survival. The verbal jabs weren't enough for her anymore. She started getting physical. A pinch here, a twist there. Always where clothes would hide the marks. The pain was sharp, but the helplessness cut deeper. I became a strategist in my own home. Mapping Anita's movements, timing my own like a prisoner planning an escape. But sometimes, she'd catch me off guard. Like that afternoon in the living room, when she dug her nails into my skin for no reason at all. I bit back my cry, and she walked away with that cold, triumphant smile. When Grandma visited, she noticed something wasn't right. She saw how I flinched at Anita's footsteps, how I moved like a frightened animal in my own home. "Melinda, is everything all right at home?" The concern in her voice nearly broke me. I wanted to tell her everything. But fear sealed my lips. "I'm fine, Grandma. Just stressed about school." The lie tasted bitter in my mouth. That night, watching Grandma's car disappear down the driveway, I caught Anita's reflection in the window. The look in her eyes told me she knew how close I'd come to telling someone. Then came Mrs. Jones, my teacher. She saw the signs others missed. But her concern, while touching, terrified me. What would Anita do if she found out I'd talked? Each day felt like walking a tightrope over a bottomless pit. The day Mrs. Jones called Dad into her office, I thought I might faint from fear. Sitting in that principal's office, watching Dad's face harden with anger and embarrassment as Mrs. Jones explained about the bruises she'd seen. I've never felt so small. "What is this about, Melinda? Why am I being called to your school?" Dad's voice cut through the air like a whip. "Bruises? Don't be ridiculous. She's making up stories again." Dad's words hit like physical blows. Mrs. Jones stepped in, her voice steady but firm. "Mr. Smith, the marks on your daughter's arms aren't accidents. This needs to be addressed." Dad's face darkened. "She's perfectly safe at home. Melinda, you're destroying our family's reputation with these accusations." The disappointment in his eyes broke something inside me. "It's true, Daddy. Anita hurts me." Finally saying it out loud made the tears I'd been holding back spill over. "Anita? That's absurd. She's been nothing but kind to you. I won't let you slander her name." He stood up abruptly. "Tell Mrs. Jones you made it all up. Now." And I did. What choice did I have? Mrs. Jones just nodded silently, but her eyes held such sadness. Back home, Dad locked me in my room without a word. Through the door, I heard Anita's fake concern. "I told you she just wants attention." Sitting on my bed, surrounded by walls that once felt like sanctuary but now felt like prison bars, I realized something. The physical pain Anita inflicted was nothing compared to being disbelieved and punished by my own father. In my darkest hour, I thought of Grandma, Dad's mother, the only person who still showed me unconditional love. One afternoon, when Dad and Anita were busy, I finally found the courage to call her. My hands shook as I dialed. "Grandma?" My voice wavered. "Melinda, sweetheart. How are you?" The tears came fast. "Grandma, I need help. Can I stay with you for a while?" After a brief silence, "What's wrong, honey?" "It's Anita. She's hurting me, and Dad won't believe me. I don't know what to do anymore." "Of course you can come. I'll be there tomorrow." And she was. Though small in stature, my grandmother filled the room with her presence the next day. She faced down my father with a strength I never knew she possessed. "I'm taking Melinda with me, John. She's not safe here." Grandma's voice held no room for argument. "You can't take her. She's my daughter. A daughter you failed to protect. Grandma's eyes flashed. I won't stand by while she suffers. Anita stepped in, honey-sweet poison in her voice. She's just a child making up stories. You'd believe her over us? I know a frightened child when I see one. Grandma's steel gaze cut through Anita. Melinda's coming with me. Try to stop us, and we'll involve the authorities. Dad's fight drained away. As I packed, I watched Anita's face shift from defiant to defeated. Leaving that house felt like escaping prison. The drive was quiet, but Grandma's presence beside me spoke volumes. Years passed. Grandma's home became my sanctuary, filled with the love and safety I'd lost. Then she died, leaving an unfillable void. Dad and Anita showed up at the funeral, their faces masks of false grief and barely hidden greed. Well, Melinda, Anita's voice dripped satisfaction. Time to find somewhere else to live. Everything here belongs to your father now. I couldn't help but smile, confusing them both. Actually, you're wrong. I savored the moment. Grandma left everything to me. But you're still a child. Dad sputtered. I'm your father, I should manage any inheritance. Yes. Anita's shrill voice cut in. Until you're of age, your father controls everything. Funny you mention that, I said calmly. You didn't even remember my birthday last month. I'm 18 now. Legally an adult. I watched reality crash over them like a wave. Dad's face transformed from shock to anger to desperate pleading. Melinda, we're family, Dad pleaded. Looking at them, childhood memories washed over me. We stopped being family long ago. Anita stepped forward, her tone suddenly pleading. At least let us stay. We have nowhere to go. This is my house now. Find somewhere else. As they left, years of pain seemed to lift from my shoulders. Standing in what was now my home, surrounded by Grandma's love, I felt closure. Now, looking at Dad's number on my phone screen, those memories stay where they belong. In the past. Beyond the anger and betrayal, I feel strength. The strength of survival. My phone buzzes. A message from Aaron, a fellow lawyer I met at a child abuse prevention event. Good news about today's case, it reads. We've been working to get a protective order for a 12-year-old girl suffering abuse from her stepfather. The order was granted. She's safe now. Warmth fills my chest. Making a difference, changing lives. This is what gives my life meaning now. Opening my desk drawer, I find the last photo taken of Grandma and me in her garden. After her death, I turned her house into a shelter for abused children. You'd be proud, Grandma, I whisper. Yes, my past held pain. But that pain transformed into strength to help others. I hear rumors about Dad and Anita's financial troubles, but they no longer affect me. Melinda. Aaron appears at my door. Ready for the shelter's opening party tonight? I nod, standing. The new shelter, ironically located just blocks from my old house, now stands as a beacon of hope for hurting children. Outside my window, flowers sway gently in the spring breeze, marking a new beginning. They were Mom's favorite flowers. Taking a deep breath, I say, let's go. Standing in my office, I take one last look at Dad's number before deleting it from my phone. Some bridges are meant to stay burned. Through my window, I catch a glimpse of Mark waiting in his car below. We met at a fundraising event for the shelter last year. He's a child psychologist who works with trauma survivors. His gentle understanding and unwavering support have shown me what real love feels like. There's a certain poetry to life's timing. Just yesterday, I heard through mutual friends that Anita was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Dad's desperate call for financial help makes sense now. Once, this news might have stirred something in me. Satisfaction, perhaps, or even pity. But now, I feel nothing but peace. Ready to go? Erin pokes her head in, excitement dancing in her eyes. The kids at the shelter have been asking about you all morning. I smile, gathering my things. The shelter has become more than just a safe haven, it's where broken spirits learn to soar again. Last week, little Sophie, whose stepmother had been physically abusive, finally smiled for the first time since arriving. That smile was worth more than any legal victory. As I lock my office, my phone buzzes with a text from Dad. Please, Melinda. We really need help. Anita's sick. I pause, my finger hovering over the screen. Then I type, I hope you both find peace. Goodbye, Dad. It's not forgiveness exactly, but it's freedom. Freedom from the weight of anger I've carried for so long. Mark's face lights up as I slide into the passenger seat. The contractor called, he says. The expansion plans for the second shelter are approved. I lean over and kiss his cheek, hope blooming in my chest like those flowers Mom loved so much. We're planning to open 3 more shelters across the state by next year. Each one will have a garden. Mom's garden, Grandma's garden, living legacies of the love that saved me. You know what today is? Mark asks as we drive. I nod, smiling. It's been exactly 1 year since I last saw Dad and Anita. 1 year since I chose myself. At the shelter, children's laughter echoes through the halls. The sound of healing, of second chances. These walls, once witnesses to my own pain, now hold stories of transformation and hope. Looking at these children, I see myself at their age. Scared, hurt, looking for someone to believe them. Now I get to be that someone. Every child who finds safety here is a victory over the darkness that once threatened to consume me. Ms. Melinda. Sophie runs up, wrapping her arms around my waist. I got an A on my math test. I hug her back, feeling the strength of her spirit. I'm so proud of you, sweetheart. This is my family now. These resilient children, Mark's steady love, Erin's unwavering friendship. We're all survivors, wearing our scars like badges of honor. As the sun sets, casting long shadows through the trees, I realize something profound. Sometimes the most beautiful gardens grow from the darkest soil. My past didn't break me. It built me. And now, every day, I get to help others write their own stories of survival and triumph. This is more than healing. This is transformation. This is home.
Thank you for watching this emotional story to the very end. If you enjoyed this story of healing and transformation, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your subscription helps us create more meaningful content that touches hearts and changes lives. Click the bell icon to stay updated with our latest stories of courage and resilience. Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts or your own story of overcoming challenges. Together, we can create a community of support and understanding. Remember, your story matters, and you're never alone on your journey. See you in the next video.